morning. There. Awesome. Wonderful. So happy to be back with you. And I got a little time away with family in the way over there on the other side of the world. It was Chicago. I was in Chicago and Indiana, and I brought the aloha energy. It was 50 degrees and sunny the whole time. They were so happy to see me. I got all the credit. It was so lovely. So this is the last service of the year, the last service of the decade, and so we are here to celebrate you and your lives and this ministry. And today we have a special service. In addition to Aloha, we're also doing the 12 Gifts of Christmas. So we've been talking a lot about Christmas, so you thought it would all be over. No, we have more. You just can't get enough of the gifts of the Christ, right? Yes, that's what this is about. So we have now had the birth experience. We've each birthed the Christ presence in ourselves and in the world. And then the 12 days of Christmas is the epiphany experience of the manifestation of that birth of the Christ in us. So today we're going to look at these 12 powers that were given to us through our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, about the gifts of the Christ. And so you and I are here to awaken to our Christed nature. And so Jesus, our way shower, our teacher, became fully realized of his divinity, yes? Yes. And so he was not an exception to the rule, but Jesus was the great example for us of how to be in the world as a divine presence. Because that's what he was here to teach us. Not that he was the only one who could do this, but he was the one that was sent to say, look, we're all here for a shared spiritual awakening. I'll show the way. Follow me, yes? Yes. So these things I do, you shall do also, he said. So this candle lighting is the 12 gifts of Christmas. I'm inviting you to listen as to what gift you may be already fully expressing in your life. What gift that you already feel like, wow, that is so me. That is what I do best. And then also listen for those gifts that are yet realized for you. Those ones that are your cutting edge, you're still working out. And then we'll call forth a greater expression of those gifts in the coming year. So what Jesus came to teach us, that he was really the star actor of the greatest drama ever played on earth. That he was here to teach us this idea that there's a transformation of the human self into the divine self. That's what we're here to do. So isn't it beautiful that we have a mission that says we're here to transform lives and inspire people to make a positive difference in the world? Yes? Yes. This is also Jesus' mission, was the transformation of the human self into a fully realized divine. So that's our journey. And we have this idea that the Christ came to show us that a new human wants to be birthed through us. A new human. A new form of humanity that is a new idea that we are whole, that we are one with his presence, that we live in harmony with all life, we live in harmony with the world. So I want to invite up our chaplains to join the stage here. That this moment, this is a prayerful time, and our chaplains are here every Sunday to pray with you that one miracle minute. And so today they want to share these ideas of how these Christmas gifts lives in us and how those are demonstrated and expressed. So let's listen.
I represent the disciple Peter. I light the blue candle of faith. As I say yes to God, I accomplish great things with my life.
All together now. During this holy Christmas season, we give to the world the gift of our faith. This is the faith that knows God is the true essence of everything. It is unshakable. It knows God is the power at work in every situation.
I represent the disciple John. I light the pink candle of love. The pure love of God harmonizes my world.
Together, during this holy Christmas season, we give to the world the gift of our love. As God's creation, we are blessed with the ability to love, and as we express this gift, we are blessed and a blessing.
I represent the disciple Andrew. I light the soft green candle of strength. There is a presence and power within me that can accomplish great things.
And together, during this holy Christmas season, we give to the world the gift of our strength. Christ is our strength. In the midst of confusion, we are held steady and calm.
I represent the disciple James. I light the yellow candle of wisdom. Through God's Spirit, I make wise choices.
Together, during this holy Christmas season, we give to the world the gift of wisdom. Divine wisdom is being established in all people everywhere.
I represent the disciple Philip. I light the purple candle of power. I exercise the power of Spirit to transform my life.
And together, during this holy Christmas season, we give to the world the gift of power. The powerful affirmation of the truth of God is our gift to the world this Christmas.
I represent the disciple Bartholomew. I light the soft blue candle of imagination. Through the creative power of imagination, God's resources are mine to use.
And together, during this holy Christmas season, we give the world the gift of imagination. We imagine a world full of love. We imagine a world of peace.
I represent the disciple Thomas. I light the gold candle of understanding. I see, feel, and understand through the direction of Spirit.
And together, during this holy Christmas season, we give the world the gift of understanding. We recognize there are many troubled situations in our world, and to these situations, we give our understanding.
I represent the disciple Matthew. I light the silver candle of will. God's will and mine are one.
And together, during this holy Christmas season, we give to the world the gift of our will. We know that God is in charge of this world, and we give to the world our willingness to let God's perfect will be done.
I represent the disciple of James. I light the dark green candle of order. My life unfolds in the right time, the right way, and in the right sequence.
And together, during this holy Christmas season, we give the world the gift of order. Our gift of order establishes itself in proper timing and perfect peace. All confusion and disorder are dissolved. The power of God is active in the world in an orderly, peaceful, and loving way.
I represent the disciple Simon. I light the orange candle of zeal. I let God's light shine through me as me.
And together, during this holy Christmas season, we give to the world the gift of our zeal. Joy, enthusiasm, and zeal bring sparkle into the world.
I represent the disciple Thaddeus. I light the brown candle of renunciation. I release the things that keep me separate from God.
And together, during this holy Christmas season, we give to the world the gift of renunciation. We release all unforgiving thoughts and feelings. We let go of the past and establish a new, fresh, wonderful world.
I represent the disciple Judas. I light the red candle of life. I accept my life as a pure stream of God on this human journey.
And together, during this holy Christmas season, we give the world the gift of life. We give thoughts of pure health and revitalizing life to every area of the globe. We give thanks for the gifts of Christmas that are alive in each one of us in the Christ presence. And so it is, and so we let it be.
Thank you, chaplains. What a beautiful, beautiful demonstration of those Christmas gifts that live in each and every one of us. So now we want to do something a little unique and different than we normally do, and that is I'm going to, in a moment, give some of you an opportunity to sort of share how this year has been a shift for you or some sort of epiphany. We can also see that these gifts are sort of about a stage of awakening, each stage of our awakening. So the word epiphany is mostly of something about a sudden flash of understanding or insight. So we want to give you an opportunity, if you would like, to share some sudden flash of understanding or insight that has happened in the last year for you. It's also something like, where has God broken through you? What has happened in your life that has allowed a God to be a greater expression through you when you weren't even expecting that blessing? Sometimes that happens through challenges or grief, that we experience something that we thought might break us, but something within us carried us through that experience. Or there could be something we're so grateful for that happened that we want to share with our spiritual community. That, wow, I never expected this to happen, and this has been a blessing to me. Or we might want to just share a part of our spiritual growth. How this year, I finally got some epiphany that God really lives in me. I really felt it and I saw it and I had what we call a God experience. GE brings more good to life. God experience, right? and that's what we're all wanting, right? Yes? I want to have an experience of God. That's why I go to church. That's why I do the spiritual practices I do, is I want to know God at a cellular level. I want to know that the Spirit within me is source in me. And so we want to give you an opportunity now to sort of share some of those epiphanies. I know that there's one beautiful teacher, Meister Eckhart, a beautiful spiritual teacher. He said this, he said, God is not found in the soul by adding anything, but by the process of subtraction. So some of you may have discovered that you are more because you let go. Anybody say amen to that? Yeah, right. It's just like, wow, I thought I needed more, and what I needed was less. So it's a great revelation. So I have two beautiful chaplains that would like to start us off in this beautiful family sharing. And so, Jade, would you be willing to be the first? Thank you.
So this year was an amazing, interesting year of many different emotions. I feel like everything that Reverend Denise mentioned in her little lead into this section is what I experienced in my life. Grief, gratitude, grief, sadness, as if I had hit my bottom and then got pulled through it. At the beginning or middle of this year, I had an amazing fundraiser. I work for a nonprofit and was on this amazing high. Just everything seemed to be falling into place with an amazing team that I got to work with. 2 weeks later, I found out that we were closing our physical office space, and as a result, I would have to let go of half my team. It was detrimental. I went through an immense depression and picked up a few pounds and kind of went into my cocoon. But through that, it called a greater sense of my spirit, of my self-worth. I was able to find an amazing therapist that weaves spiritual practice of meditation into her practice. I also had an amazing prayer partner that listened to my tears and held the high watch when I had no words to say or to speak. And so today, as I stand here, last week I formally accepted a new position. I am no longer working from home and excited to be playing a role in a new nonprofit here in Hawaii the second week of January. God is good.
Thank you, Jade. Thank you so much. So each of you will get a minute in a moment. We'll offer you 1 minute. So Rosie, please share your experience.
Mine was through grief. And it started in 2018. I lost my brother in March. And then I lost my father in November. Life is precious. Go after your dreams. Go after them. I hesitated to become a chaplain. It's like, no. But God provided to go through. Keep going in spite of the fear. I know my brother and my father would want me to do that, and I want to do that. And this church community has done this for me. I've also started college. I've been in it for 3 years. I thought about quitting that too. Then it's like, no, like I'm not good enough. And it's like fear, false evidence appearing real. Go after your dreams. Life is precious. I'm also on my path to becoming an LUT, a licensed Unity teacher. Go for it. That's why I'm saying go for your dreams. This was a wake-up call. Life is so precious. Go for what you want.
Thank you, Rosie. Wow. So I was here the first Sunday Rosie came up front to be a chaplain, to pray in front of everyone. And her knees were knocking, and she was stuttering, and she did it anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway. And now she prays with grace and joy and freedom. Yeah, thank you. All right, so we have 2 people that are standing to bring a microphone to you. You can come up here, or you can just stand and we'll bring you a microphone. Who would like to be the next person to share their experience? I see Jim right here.
Good morning. At the beginning of last year, when the congregation was in chaos, I was in the midst of reading Eric Butterworth's Spiritual Economics for about the third time.
Can you put it a little closer? Thank you.
And I was reading Eric Butterworth's Spiritual Economics for about the third time. This time, I got it. And over the year, I have finally been able to divest myself of a lot of my delivery work. So I'm working about 1/3 of what I used to. And other things have come up. The insurance has gone up, car repairs, but the car's running perfectly. And I find myself with 3 or 4 times as much money in my bank account than I ever used to. And I don't know why that happens, and I'm not going to ask why. I'm just going to say, thank you, God.
Thank you, God. Absolutely.
So now my tithe is officially at about 11.5 or 12%, because 10% is good, but you cannot outgive God. Let me tell you that.
There it is.
I have learned firsthand, you cannot outgive God.
All right. Yay. Thank you, Jim. Yeah. Beautiful. So much good. John.
How'd you know my name? Oh, my name is John, and I am a rebel with a cause. I'm also an artist and a poet and a philosopher, and I'd like to share a poem with you. The boundaries of every mind are found in individual collections of touch, sight, and sound. Each man only knows the world he's designed and lives in his reality, the boundaries of his mind. Infinite realities of this eternal creation leaves these touching minds cursed with frustration. Love is the transcendence we require to behold another man's reality to our sight unfold. To fully experience the divine human soul, seeing each man through love must be our goal. What infinite wisdom, this eternal plan that loving all realities exalts the soul of man.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is John's first Sunday, invited by Reverend Tony. So beautiful. Thank you so much. Yes.
Good morning, church.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is X Jones. Many, many, many of you know me. I became connected to this church through the streaming that you do. And for many years, you were my spiritual home via the internet. For the last decade, I've been a vocalist, a performer, a celebrity throughout Europe, based in Germany. And there were always 2 oceans separating us. And every free chance I had, I crossed those oceans to be with you and to breathe this rare air. And 2019 was a year where the universe provided opportunities for me to make that only be one ocean that is between us. And I'm working on fulfilling the goals that I've had for so long, to not just be here every once in a while with you, but be here as often as the sun rises and sets. I don't know what she was preparing those words for, but everything that she said in the prelude was my 2019. And as I go forward in 2020 with 2020 vision, I look forward to contributing to this community that has seen me through so many joyous and wonderful occasions. And I hope that you will receive me, and I hope that we together will reach our highest and best selves.
Beautiful. So you are received right now. We totally receive the gift that you are. Thank you for returning home, Master Teacher. Yes, thank you.
Hello, good morning. My name's Ralph, and I've had some health challenges the last couple of years that have been challenging. And when I was first giving a diagnosis of cancer, it was, I got this. I know how to pray. I know how to meditate. I'll work my way through this. and spent the first year and a half doing that as best I could, listening to my heart, trying to let that unfold. But it hadn't been going my way, and I realized that it was still my will. And I got to the point where I had to let that go.
Yes.
So letting go of my will and letting that be God's will is so much easier.
Oh, thank
so
you.
I highly encourage you, when you think you've got it and you're still working it, look deeply, see if it's your will you're working rather than God's will, and let your will go to be one will. And it's so much easier, so much more comfortable. There's so much more energy available when you're not trying to work it your way. So just let go, let God, and it'll be what it'll be.
Thank you, Ralph. Wow. So beautifully said. Takes so much courage and strength, and so we so respect that. Thank you for sharing that with us. I always need to let go. So thank you. Jan.
Hi, I'm Jan Fitzgerald. I'm a member of the board. Being on the board has been very, very interesting. I am not a terribly social person. It's been a challenge to even be in meetings, but I have grown immensely. Yes. The first year was really tough with all the issues that we had with Reverend Tim and with him leaving. The second year has been amazing healing. People from Unity Worldwide Ministries were here. Gregory Riard was here. I attended absolutely as many of the trainings and healings as I could. And the changes that I felt in myself and that I saw in other people is just so inspiring. The board has been working really hard. Every month we get together for supposedly a few hours. And it becomes all day. Now we just plan for all day. But what we've faced and what we've been able to move through and are continuing to move through is healing the whole history of this church. Because we are getting to where we are beginning to be able to let go of our stories of the past, of our ideas about who other people should be and how they should act, and to let us each be our own unique selves on our own unique journey to the one. I cannot encourage you too highly to go for it. And I also will take this opportunity to recommend that people think about being on the board, because it's great. It maybe not have been a few years ago. It may have been very painful and stressful. Right now, all of this stress is the growing kind of stress, and it's great.
Thank you, Jan. Yeah, absolutely. It is, that's why we get on the board. We think we're there to change things, but really, we're there to spiritually grow. So if you're ready for spiritual growth, sign up. Yes.
Hi, I'm Dan Kunkel. I've been a member of this congregation since 1993. And I got a strong reminder recently how death is a part of life, and it isn't necessarily wrong, and it's just as much a part of life as birth. Every single one of us is born. Every single one of us eventually goes through the transition of death. But I have my issues with death. And earlier this month, my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer. So that's what we're dealing with in our family right now. We got a 5-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son, and So we're looking at this death issue, and it's not something that we want, but it's beyond our will, obviously. So we're going to try and help my children's mother get healthy. And more than anything else, it's just a reminder that I need to make the most of today, because this cancer could be totally gone, but still, I can't control what death is going to come. Who of us knew that these 7 people on Kauai were going to die in a helicopter crash a couple days ago?
Yes.
Nobody knew that was coming. So it's just a reminder I need to make the most of today. That's all I've got is today.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dan. Thank you for sharing. And we hold you and your wife and family in prayer. And if there's anything we can do to support, please reach out to us. And that's our great joy. And and death is the great gift of life. Yes, that, when we look at that, it allows us to live more fully. And so that's how we can do that. But we'd love to be with you in this time. Thank you for standing up. Who else? Yes.
Greetings, everyone. I want to just say thank you for all this unity, Ohana, who has been so loving and supportful.
Get it a little closer.
So loving and so supportful when I was going through all my challenges, when I fell, and I'm healed, I am whole, I'm not in pain. I'm very grateful. And I'm grateful for all the years I've been coming to Unity, because Unity is my rock of strength.
Yes.
And I'm very grateful. And I just wanted to say aloha, I love you all, and bless you all, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Absolutely. Thank you. So glad you're back. Yeah. There was one other person over here? No. Okay. Jack, and then there's one gentleman. We've got this gentleman standing in the aisle, and then we'll do Jack. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I had a really tough year.
And your name is?
My name is Chris.
Chris, thank you.
I had a tough year dealing with some inner problems, and I'm glad that I have family around and places I can go to kind of just talk about my issues. And I'm very, very thankful and grateful for my family being here for support. And I'm glad that the new year is going to be something different. And very grateful, very grateful. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you, Chris, for joining us today. Yeah, and having the courage to stand up. We appreciate you.
So I've been listening to each of you say your piece. I have a little different take. 2019 was a very good year for me. And sometimes we grow out of difficulty and loss and challenges. And I'm here to tell you that God's with you no matter what that is. And there will be times and moments, as I know there will be for me, when those challenges may come back. And I'm ready for them because the depth with which God has instilled in me His love and His life and His acceptance has been hard to completely comprehend. Sometimes we think of God, He's there around, He's somewhere, but everything we teach here at Unity about Him being in us, with us, always there, is so true. It's our challenge to accept that, to understand that it is the case, and to get the other parts of us out of the way so that He can fully be present in what has been a joyful year for me, an anticipatory year for next year, to be wonderful and abundant and loving and there to give myself in any way that I can to Him, my family, my church, all of the joys that have brought me to where I am. I thank God.
Thank God for you, Jack. Thank you. Yeah, what I have witnessed with you, my friend, is that you are so engaged in life. Everything we've had here, you've said yes to and shown up with your full self and offered who you and what you are, and you have fully engaged in this community, and for that, I'm so grateful. Yeah. So, yes, Christopher.
Hi, my name is Christopher Vaughn. I'm the Vice President of the board. It's been an incredible gift to step into a leadership role in the community this year. In Unity, we talk a lot about appearances, and at the time, there was an appearance of struggle and turmoil in the community. And it was so incredible to watch this community come together to move into a different direction. And I want you all to know, as Jan had said, this church is moving and continually moving into integrity and into prosperity and into growth. And regardless of the appearances, if we hold to the truth of what is to come, we know that this community will help to transform the world. We're doing it every day, and it's only becoming stronger and stronger. So I'm very, very grateful to be a part of that process for my own growth. And I want to also encourage people, as we're coming into this time of looking for new board members, consider saying yes if it's on your heart as a possibility, because you will grow and change in ways that you could never imagine. And when I stepped into this role, I was so incredibly supported by Spirit. As I said before, I had a quickening, and I was fed with energy and enthusiasm and ability that I didn't even know that I had. So I encourage everyone to think about if it's on your heart and know that we're doing great things here. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Christopher. Beautiful. Thank you all so much for your sharing. Let us close now and move into some music. And let's just take a moment in prayer to just settle into this. So, precious Spirit of all life, we are so grateful for each voice, for each soul, for each person present here in this space and online, joining us in this transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in the world. We are so ready for our own transformation and moving into a greater vision in 2020. Thank you, Spirit, for igniting each and every one of us into that Christ presence. We are grateful, blessed, and we are ready. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.